Welcome. Today I am going to read another story. Oh, come over here. Good. You can play with this. Don't, Tida. Come back. Don't go there. You have to listen to the stories. If you sit down and be good, I'll give you something good to eat. Good. Okay. So now let's read. Okay. Read now, book 5. Let's see, which page was it? I always forget. Oh, Chida. Okay, anyways, let's get started. Chapter 4, A Strange Warning. A great many years ago, there was a war between the Austrians and the Turks. One of the many fierce wars that were fought between the Christians and the followers of Muhammad. The Turks attacked and advanced until they reached and surrounded the capital city of Vienna. At the time of the story, the gates of the city had been closed for weeks, and the sentries on the top of the high walls were carefully watching every movement of the enemy. The people were all in despair, as they could get no food from the country, and what little they had within the city could last only a few days more. If they did not surrender, they would die of hunger, and if they did surrender, they would certainly be put to death by the Turks. It seemed as if nothing could save them from the dreadful fate that was to come. Then a very strange thing happened. By good fortune, it turned out to be a warning which saved the city. One evening, a hard-working baker was in his bakery preparing some flour that had to be made into bread for the next day. Suddenly, he heard a slight rattling sound behind him. He turned quickly, but the noise stopped. Curious to know what it was, the baker stood still and listened carefully. Again, he heard the rattle. He walked quietly over to the table on the other side of the bakehouse and discovered the cause of the noise. There on the floor in the corner below the table stood a toy drum, which belonged to one of his little boys. On the head of the drum lay several marbles. The baker watched very closely. Every few seconds, the head of the drum would shake and the little marbles would dance and rattle upon as if they were alive. He bent down and put his ear to the ground. Yes, now he could hear the cause of the shaking. It was a regular... Let's see, I keep forgetting. It was a regular tapping noise, and he wondered what it meant. Suddenly, thought flashed to his mind. The strange tapping sounds were caused by the blows of pickaxe in the earth below. The Turks were digging a tunnel under the walls in the city. With great haste, the baker went to warn the others. When the general in command of the army was told, he went to the bakery at once to investigate. At the bakery, the general bent his ear to the ground, heard the tapping noise, and watched the marbles dancing on the drum. He agreed that the sound was caused by the enemy digging a tunnel under them. Late that night, his soldiers suddenly opened the city gate and made a surprise attack on the enemy. After a short but fierce fight, the Turks turned and fled, and thus the city was saved. Oh, good. And thus the city was saved. Thus it was by means of this warning that the general was able to defeat the Turks. When the war was over, the baker was ordered to appear before the emperor. I understand, said the emperor, and said that we all owe our safety to you. The little drum and the marbles gave you a warning of danger. and he found out the reason. Now, my good man, what do you wish for as a reward? Page 26. Your Majesty, replied the baker, I am a humble man, and I do not desire riches or rank. Grant me one wish, and I will be happy. Let me from now on make my bread in the shape of crescent on the Turkish flag, so that those who eat it will remember our great victory. The emperor was greatly surprised at this strange wish, but he granted it at once with a smile. A splendid idea, said the emperor. Remember to send the first bread you make to the palace. They will be the first to enjoy it. The new crescent-shaped bread was called a croissant, and so great was the demand for it that he soon made a fortune. The end. Thank you guys for watching. Today you come here. You always come over here. You always run away. You're so playful, aren't you? Okay then, bye.